I believe that nicotine is not addictive.
And I too believe that nicotine is not addictive.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're examining 10 corporate conspiracy theories.
Okay, that's it. Attention, Canada!
For this list, we'll be looking at the most intriguing conspiracy theories involving businesses, corporations, and conglomerates. To be clear, the theory does not have to be proven true so long as the theory itself has been put forth. What do you make of these beliefs? Are you in or out? Let us know in the comments below. Tim Hortons' secret coffee ingredient. Tim Hortons, or Timmy's as the locals call it, is arguably the most popular coffee chain in Canada, although it's also branched out to many countries around the world. With well over 5,000 locations, it's obvious that Timmy's is doing something right.
Oh, this coffee is excellent.
And some think that that something might be nicotine. According to some, the chain secretly adds the addictive substance to its coffee to ensure that people keep coming through the door.
Thank you very much.
Of course, that's not actually the case, because that would be in violation of some major health regulations. And rest assured, the theory has been officially disproved by the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. Turns out, they just make a mean cup of joe.
Taste test each cup. Coffee masters give thumbs up. Handcraft fresh brew. Spreading joy is what we do. From bean to cup, that is how we brew it up.
Raising the price of chicken. When it comes to meat, it doesn't get much better than chicken. It's a versatile food, cheap, healthy, and you get a lot of bang for your buck. But maybe we should be paying even less bucks?
Think about this as something that is a punishment to the market for having done some bad behavior.
Back in October of 2021, Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson alleged that 19 different chicken producers were artificially inflating the price of the meat. According to Ferguson, these companies were intentionally manipulating the supply of chicken so as to increase the demand and therefore the market price of the bird.
Washington is the first state to hold chicken production companies accountable for their roles in price fixing.
Ferguson launched a lawsuit against these companies as price fixing is highly illegal.
According to the suit, if you purchase chicken in 24 states, including the Carolinas from 2009 through 2020, you could be eligible to receive a payment from a $181 million class action settlement.
As of April 2023, 14 of the 19 companies have settled with Ferguson, resulting in earnings of $35 million. You can stop Meta from owning your photos. There are countless conspiracy theories regarding Meta platforms, the conglomerate that owns both Facebook and Instagram. For example, many people are convinced that Facebook is eavesdropping on your conversations and giving you targeted ads in response.
Conspiracy theory that gets passed around that we listen to what's going on your microphone and use that for ads.
Right.
We don't do that.
But there's another theory centered around the use of private photos. According to the theory, Meta owns every photo that you upload, and they can do whatever they want with it unless you specify otherwise in a post. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. You agreed to give Meta access to your photos when you signed up. It's explicitly in the terms of service.
This means even if you post a notice claiming that you don't give Facebook permission to use your data or photos, you already told them it was okay.
And that's far more lawfully binding than some random chain message that you repost on your feed.
Nothing is impossible. You just have to kind of keep running through the walls.
Walmart and Jade Helm 15. Back in 2015, Walmart suddenly closed 5 stores across the United States, resulting in more than 2,000 people losing their jobs. According to the company, the buildings had suffered extensive plumbing issues that were too costly and time-consuming to fix.
Walmart officials didn't even mention plumbing issues.
According to others, it was because the employees were unionizing. Regardless, the closure resulted in an even greater conspiracy involving the U.S. military.
I don't have the specifics on what it actually is. I just know that at this store we've had recurring issues.
According to believers, martial law would be enacted, and these closed stores would be used as military facilities, or even worse, FEMA concentration camps for captured American citizens. Of course, nothing of the sort ever occurred. Nope, these were just closed Walmarts. It happens. Apple enacts planned obsolescence.
The company saying, "We know that some of you feel Apple has let you down. We apologize."
In the economic industry, planned obsolescence refers to a device that is purposely rendered obsolete by its maker. For example, many believe that Apple designs their iPhones to die after a certain number of years so that users will be forced to buy the newest, latest, and greatest.
The idea with planned obsolescence is that there is intent. There is a smoke-filled room with evil people that are saying, "Wahaha, we're going to make these things die in 18 months." I'm not sure it works that way. Instead, the way that this works is that the marketing people are saying to the product designers, Don't put any effort into making this thing last longer than the lifespan of the original battery.
In 2017, a supposed Harvard study even made the rounds that seemingly proved this idea. But this isn't true. It's true that older iPhones get slower once new iOS upgrades are released, but that's because the aged batteries cannot handle its demands.
The battery can surge, and that causes the phone to shut down, a problem that many of us have had.
So yes, old phones do slow down, and yes, you will have to buy a new one. But that's simply the nature of technology, and not the result of some grand planned obsolescence conspiracy.
Apple acknowledged the problem and said iOS 10.2.1 would reduce the amount of unexpected shutdowns.
New Coke was bad on purpose. There are corporate disasters, and then there's New Coke. Making its big rollout in April 1985, New Coke was a reformulated version of the classic beverage. Coca-Cola had seen diminishing sales, and New Coke was the company's attempt at revitalizing the brand.
It's a hit. It's a Coke. Coke is it.
Well, it didn't work. The product was widely hated, and the experiment was considered an enormous disaster.
What they hadn't factored in was the huge emotional attachment there was to this brand.
Classic Coke was then reintroduced just 3 months later to great success.
Coke is it. Coca-Cola is it.
However, this raised some eyebrows. Skeptics believe that old Coke had pulled a fast one and intentionally made New Coke bad, thereby spiking demand and sales for Classic Coke. It's a decent conspiracy theory, but it has no basis in reality. As company president Donald Kioff put it, quote, "We're not that smart."
It'll shake up the world. It's the way it should be. It's just how you feel when you know it's for real.
McDonald's and the IRA. This conspiracy theory has enormous implications and could do some extreme damage to the reputation of McDonald's. Thankfully, not a lick of it is true, so you can enjoy your Big Macs guilt-free.
Derek, what about your diet?
I have weaknesses. I'm trying to fight them. Sometimes they get the best of me.
The theory stretches back to the 80s, when McDonald's was accused of providing money to a group called the Provisional Irish Republican Army. Known widely as the IRA, this was a terrorist organization that fought for Northern Irish independence.
The truth is that very few of the Irish nation supported this quixotic revolt. The vast majority of the Irish people thought of these revolutionaries as a scandalous joke.
In a turn of events, the theory was traced back to CNN, which was discussing the company's use of IRAs, or individual retirement accounts. Someone had mixed up pension planning for terrorism, and a bizarre conspiracy theory was born. Purdue Pharma commits fraud. A private pharmaceutical company, Purdue Pharma has a sketchy history.
I'm profoundly sorry.
I am deeply and profoundly sorry.
It once paid an enormous fine for lying about the addictive properties of OxyContin, and then in 2020 it was found guilty of numerous conspiracy theories. Basically, Purdue was giving kickbacks to distributors so they would sell more of their product, and then lied about doing so to the Drug Enforcement Administration. Even worse, they intentionally sold their product knowing that it was going to abusers, thereby fueling the ongoing opioid epidemic to get rich.
Since 1998, doctors have observed patients developing addiction. Yet in this internal memo, the laboratory keeps on encouraging its representatives to sell at all costs their miracle pill, using bonuses, premiums, and all sorts of gadgets.
As U.S. Attorney Christina Nolan succinctly put it, quote, "Purdue put opioid profits ahead of people." It sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it's 100% true. It cost Purdue billions of dollars, and the resulting controversy forced the company to rebrand.
The company's agreed to an $8 million settlement. However, it's likely only to pay a fraction of that amidst bankruptcy proceedings.
Operation Berkshire. The title Operation conveys a powerful exercise that is meticulously planned and flawlessly executed. And Operation Berkshire was all about smoking. Specifically, the tobacco industry's efforts to keep people smoking. It was started by Imperial Tobacco Chairman Tony Garrett in 1976, who gathered the CEOs of 7 major companies. According to a document written by the Brown and Williamson Tobacco Corporation, Operation Berkshire, quote, monitored anti-tobacco organizations and rebutted data and allegations from anti-smoking forces. Basically, they created a unified front and battled the increasing public scrutiny on smoking cigarettes. They even lied to Congress by claiming that nicotine was not addictive.
I believe nicotine is not addictive, yes.
Mr. Johnston.
Congressman,
Cigarettes and nicotine clearly do not meet the classic definitions of addiction.
Operation Berkshire wasn't publicly unveiled until 1998, meaning that it was conducted in secret for over 20 years. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into Settings and switch on your notifications. The Deepwater Horizon accident. On April 20th, 2010, BP's drilling rig Deepwater Horizon suffered a massive explosion that killed 11 people and sent over 200 million gallons of oil into the Gulf of Mexico.
BP's success in the Gulf bolstered its reputation as a pioneer and pushed its value to nearly £100 billion.
According to BP, the explosion was the result of ignited methane, which had combined with seawater and drilling mud during a blowout.
What the oil companies use Deepwater Horizon for is to drill the wells. They come out, they drill in really challenging environments. They find the oil. Sometimes they set up the production well. Then they go to the next job.
Some, including conservative radio host Rush Limbaugh, were convinced that something more foul was afoot. Some claim that the oil rig was hit by a foreign missile in a violent declaration of aggression or war. Others posit that the explosion was rigged by environmentalists hoping to prove the folly and hubris of oil drilling. The truth is far simpler, but no less catastrophic.
The legacy of Deepwater Horizon will be to show how important science is in making decisions that help society meet these challenges and keep this region vital and safe and resilient for generations to come.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.